For the developments out of Iraq, the implications in Iran and around the world, let me turn to Jamal Abdi. He's the president of the National Iranian American Council. Jamal, it doesn't seem like Donald Trump meant to unify Iranians with the killing of General Qasem Soleimani, but with the scenes unfolding in city after city in Iran, country of 80 million people, based on the reporter we just spoke to, apparently united and very much against the United States right now.
I think that's definitely not the intention of Donald Trump. But however, unintentionally, he has managed to do what Iran's government hasn't been able to do. This is a government that was already under extreme pressure from its own population. There were demonstrations just a few weeks ago, and in a single fell swoop, Donald Trump has changed the conversation and made it seem that not only did this guy, who many Iranians viewed as the protector from ISIS and outside threats, but also, you know, inside of Iran, the outside threats narrative, U.S. and other foreign powers having putting its thumb on what's happening inside of Iran. That's a very sensitive area, but a long history inside of Iran that motivates people.
General Soleimani was really regarded as sort of a rock star and as a national hero by many Iranians. In the West, not so much. Blamed for the deaths of hundreds of Americans, Syrians, people in Yemen. But there are interesting revelations coming out about why he was actually in Baghdad. Are you hearing, and is there any truth to reports that he was actually carrying some kind of message to the Iraqis who were trying to mediate some kind of peace initiative between Iran and Saudi Arabia? So the reasons he was there was on allegedly a peace mission.
Allegedly a peace mission, and according to the Iraqi prime minister, a peace mission that Iraq was engaged in at the behest of the United States. So the United States may have bombed a man who was actually working with the people that they asked to broker this peace mission. I would not be surprised if Donald Trump had no idea that was even happening. This seems like it was a decision that was made in a silo, it was impulsive, and it may have undermined you know, one of the most important issues in the region, which is the Iranian-Saudi rivalry, and Donald Trump managed to have an own goal on that front as well.
Let me ask you about the vote in the Iraqi parliament to expel American troops. Can the Iraqis actually do that? Of course, President Donald Trump has vowed to respond with sanctions if U.S. troops are kicked out.
Yeah, you know, even before this action, there was much pressure to expel the United States, and I think that the Iraqis were, you know, the Prime Minister was looking for ways to mitigate that and to try to slow things down as long as possible so that it wouldn't lead to this inevitability. My sense is that even on the American side, there was a feeling that this may be something that comes to fruition, the kicking out of the troops, but that it would happen later in the year, or it could be, again, delayed. This has clearly accelerated it, and I think that, you know, again, like we were saying with uniting Iran, Iraqis were also protesting both the Iranian presence, but also the American presence, and now that has swung pretty far to the other side in kicking out the U.S. troops.
So, Jamal, where do we go from here? These countries appear to be on the brink of a very serious military confrontation. Is there a way to defuse the crisis? Where do you begin? And does diplomacy still have a chance here?
I don't see how anybody in Iran could entertain the notion of talking to the Trump administration. That was actually beyond the imminent threat of a war, the possibility that this was the death knell for a diplomatic process. For me, you know, we thought that no matter how much damage Donald Trump had done, it was reversible. The next president could go back to the nuclear deal. Last September at the UN General Assembly, Donald Trump and Hassan Rouhani almost had a breakthrough and got to another session of dialogue and diplomacy. Now that does seem to be off the table. The hope is, given some of the comments coming out of Iran, some of the officials there, saying that they're not going to be engaging in targeting soft targets or killing American civilians, that is, you know, a small optimistic note. And then the fact that with the nuclear agreement, Iran made this announcement that they're no longer adhering to it, but still did it within the context of the procedures of the JCPOA, which is important because that does keep the deal alive, and they made clear...
Barely.
It's on life support.
Yeah.
It's on life support, but they didn't pull the plug.
Right, right. Jamal Abdi, thank you so much.